Hey, Hillside, Pastor Eric here. I just wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine, Josh Rooker. If you have been following our outreach support newsletter that I've been putting together recently, we have actually provided some Bibles for some Davenport students just down the road. And the reason why Josh and I'm very passionate about hopefully helping Josh out is because you guys know that the whole reason the outreach support newsletter began in the first place was a result of me doing the chaplaincy for the East Kentwood football team, and Josh does something very similar. And so since we're providing Bibles to students that he's ministering to at Davenport, we kind of just wanted to put a face to the name and let you know who Josh is and kind of why we've partnered with him, and hopefully there'll be more opportunities in the future. So Josh, why don't you just go ahead and introduce who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I work with Athletes InterVarsity, which is the campus ministry, and we're a growing organization, so similar to like FCA or Athletes in Action that you might be more familiar with. Our focus is on the outreach and missional piece, and we disciple through evangelism and through mission. And so we have a lot of young and new believers who need to get into the Word, and so they need tools. Need tools to get into the Word. So we're grateful for the Bibles that you guys are helping provide. So I started in general InterVarsity working with community college students, and I just have a heart for athletes, seeing that there's, in some ways, they're, I won't say unreached, but there's a limited reach because of their time to either attend a church, and especially for churches or pastors to have access to them. And so for us to tailor ministry and resources and tools for them and then bring it to them so they can use it in their own team context is pretty cool. And so one quick example of that, which is really fun, the women's soccer team at Davenport is mostly made up of young women from around the West Michigan area, whereas the men's rugby team, half of them are from South Africa. And so they're going to look at Scripture in a very different way. And so for us to get into that team context, help tailor our ministry to them, and have team-specific Bible studies is a really unique way to include the non-Christians in a conversation about Jesus.
How do we get from, because the lunch that we have where I say, hey, this is something that we're doing, I give you hey, if you ever need it, just let me know. Mm-hmm. From that point to actually asking me, what are some stories that you can share of like why those were the names that ended up asking for Bibles?
Yeah. So one of the students that's receiving a Bible is a men's golfer who, not from America, is an international student, and has known about Jesus, but when we bring up stories, couldn't really tell you where to locate them, or why they're in the Bible, or where the significance of Jesus is in those stories. And so he asked me one day, like, how do you know so much? I'm like, actually, like, it's just reading. Like, I actually just read it. Like, it's not, I haven't been to seminary, but I just read. And he's like, well, when I read, I don't understand. And so we started asking about what are some tools for you to just get the Bible. And devotionals are great, and they have their place, but for him just to get into the Bible and read it, and able to take something away from it each time he does, was kind of the goal. And so we got him a study Bible in the meantime before he got your guys's, and he's already said, like, man, this has been exciting, and illuminating is a word that came up, and he's already starting to share some of those with a non-Christian teammate of his.
Why is it important for you to have connections with pastors in the area? But then, what is your hope, in your ministry position for partnering with churches? How can Hillside, Davenport's right down the road, how can we be, a helpful church and maybe even just a partner for you in the future?
Yeah, I think me and a couple of friends were just playing basketball on your court back there during COVID, and we said, if we're going to be playing basketball on their court, maybe we should ask. And so after a month of playing, we're like, let's just contact them. And I think that's how it started. And then realized that you guys had college ministry and things. And I'm like, oh, man, we should look more into this and get a partnership. And then one of my students, I learned, started attending Hillside for a season, and they've now graduated and moved on. But so anyways, I think those were some of it started to percolate. And I think when I talk with churches, or when most parachurch organizations like me talk to churches about partnership, that mostly just can be translated as we want money. And so I've been really convicted about parachurch organizations will be successful only when we have strong partnerships with churches. And we want to move slowly so that we can have healthy and successful partnership with churches beyond just a one-sided of giving, sending a check. And so a big part of that is us being a registered student org on campus. That means we already have an access point, and we've already earned trust with the campus. So instead of the church having to designate people and build trust, you already have that trust with us. And so you can start to earn trust, immediately start earning trust with students. And coaches and faculty just by showing up through our access point of a student org. And that can look in a bunch of different ways, whether it's providing Bibles and writing letters, which is significant, whether it's mentoring, coming to like a one-time event, just come and pray for students or to speak, to lead a Bible study. Those are all ways that we've seen church members get involved and see their gifts get activated to impact campus.
We're surrounded by a lot of Christians, and sometimes we forget that there's a lot of people who still don't know about Jesus. And man, what a cool opportunity to hopefully get to tell people about him for the first time. People have asked me when we're giving the Bibles, providing Bibles for people, I've been offered hey, we got 300 printed ones here, the basic paperback ones that you get in any church. And one of the things that I've talked about with people is saying, no, I think we want to try and make this as personal as possible. To really let's get a nice quality Bible that actually meets the needs of where this person is at. Let's put a personal touch. Let's put a person's name from our church in there, because the gift is important. But yeah, the gift is hopefully activating what could be future partnership down the road. And when when we give the Bibles, it's not just, Hillside, just gave a bunch of extra Bibles. It's no, this person specifically said, I want to provide a Bible for this person and pray over them. There's so much more connection points and relational connection points that can happen, that can facilitate future ministry in the future. So that really is the ultimate goal.
Yeah. So I think with partnership, I think just the same as relationship. And I think we have, to go off of that, we have a cubicle at Davenport with maybe 100 Bibles. They're just, the plain, easy. And we'll give a couple away per year. But when I offered a study Bible from a church and I said that a letter would be coming with this from a church from a church member who'd be praying over that student, we immediately had 5 or 6 sign up. And actually just got a text today, I need to tell you about another student who wants one. And so that has been that partnership, knowing that this church is here for them and praying, even if they don't attend this church, goes a significant way for them.
Yeah, and I think for me especially, from the outreach component, where it's really important for your role is we're not poaching people from a different church or a different faith community, or we're saying, hey, we're just saying, hey, this is a church that's locally in the area. We love you. If you want to come check us out, great. If not, we can still be a church that loves and serves you, even if you don't come here on Sunday. But I think it helps maybe open some doors that otherwise would not have been there. And so if we can continue to open doors by providing Bibles, man, I'm all in. And then if God decides, hey, it looks like we provide some volunteers to help mentor, or partnership, and I think future partnership is really going to be the goal for any of these organizations, whether it's East Kentwood or even Young Life, to provide Bibles. We want to start building bridges and create local ministry and outreach partners. So I really am excited to see what God's going to do.
And with that too, if I can just add on, they like I said, a lot of those students, a lot of athletes are international students. And so we know that we only have them for a season. And so how can we steward this time? And that's we want to invite churches in to steward that time with us, because the more help that we can have with them, the more impact they'll have. with their teammates too.
Thanks for watching this. Again, Josh, thank you for coming and just telling a little bit about your story and sharing just the work that God's doing. Please feel free to share this with anyone. And again, if you have any ideas, this has just been a really cool season to see how God has been opening doors, things that we didn't plan. We did not plan on providing Bibles this year to people, but right now I think we're approximately at almost 30 Bibles given since the beginning of September. So yeah, I'm just excited to see what God will do, and just thank you for all your prayers and thank you for all your support up until this point. God bless, and you'll hear from me soon.